2026 is off to a pretty rough start. I lost my job this week because my company went under. Last time I lost my job, I had a new job, this one, 3 days after my last day. So even though my FU fund is fully funded, ready to go, ready to support me through however long it takes me to get a new job, I'm challenging myself to get a new one in the next month. If that works out, I'll actually be able to pocket my severance. Would basically be like getting a bonus. Last time I got severance, because I had a new job right away and I didn't actually need it to live off of, I used it to purchase my first car and boost my FU fund. I've known so many people who have been laid off. The thing I'm so grateful for is the years and years of mindset work I've done to not really let it drag me down into the depths of depression, but rather see this as an opportunity. I really believe that something better is coming and that this was meant to be. Losing my job twice in 2 years has really cemented that having an FU fund is the most important thing that you can do for yourself right now. I haven't used this. I forgot I had it. Oh, I forgot. I usually do this before I put mascara on because of that. So I gave myself 2 days to sulk. And now we're on to the next phase, which is keeping up momentum. I think one of the things that I've seen the most with my friends who've lost their jobs in the last couple of years is that they let themselves sit in the sulk for too long and then they lose momentum and then it's really hard to build it up again. It's like when you don't go to the gym for weeks and like even just the thought of going back to the gym feels so, I fear no amount of dry shampoo will degrease this hair. I decided that today I'm finally going to get up, get ready, makeup on, leave the house, give myself a little bit more structure and routine. All right, I think this is as good as it's gonna get today. Let's go get dressed and be functioning humans today.
Yeah, welcome back to the channel, guys. We're actually looking at several accounts and we're trying to unpack all these accounts of people who have lost their jobs and what's actually happening in the economy. To actually add insult to injury, a lot of job seekers have core areas of complaints: no response or communication from employers, lengthy drawn-out hiring processes with multiple interviews and long waits, unrealistic job requirements, difficulty getting interviews despite qualifications, intense competition and crowding on job posts, AI and automated screening, filtering out qualified candidates. So that's just to name a few of the major complaints that a lot of job seekers are facing right now.
Thanksgiving, let alone Christmas with my family coming and the pressure that that brings with it. But this week has been eye-opening to me. It's been hectic, it's been shocking, and I cannot believe that I'm unemployed right now. I do not share much about my job just because that is a part of my life that I keep very private because it is a very important piece of my life. It has allowed me to reach heights in my life and to achieve things I never thought I'd be able to achieve growing up in Mississippi. And so to lose that over the weekend has been very crazy for me. I watched it impact Connor and the way that he is just, worried about me. But I would be lying if I didn't say I was kind of scared right now. I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't worried. I'm still trying to kind of figure it out day by day of what this is going to look like for me. I just went and picked up a new laptop because I have to get to work somehow. I have to figure out, for the first time in my life, what this is going to look like post-job. Whether I dive into this full-time, to be honest, or whether I go back into corporate America and sales. I haven't figured it out. I don't know when I'm going to figure it out. I feel like I need to figure it out quickly because my health insurance ends at the end of this month. It is kind of hitting me really right in the stomach because I always worry about money. It's always on my mind. Being a young adult and always being worried about money has kind of forced me to think in dollar signs at all times, and so this is freaking me out. But I'm going to figure it out. I always do. I always land on my feet. And I think this is going to be a blessing in disguise further down the line that I cannot see. And I just want to say thank you for all of you for sticking along with me. And I promise we'll get through this together, and I'll keep you updated as much as I can along the way. But before I start crying, I'm going to hang this up. So I'll talk.
Yeah, the job hunting process can be very excruciating. Speaking from experience, for someone who has been laid off several times, job lost several times, start over, reboot, reset. Unfortunately, this type of job market it's unfathomable, the type of complaints and restrictions that people are running into as far as simply finding a new job. Zero feedback when rejected, a lot of ghosting after interviews, hiring freezes mid-process into the process of doing a job interview is excruciating. Takes months just to hear back a lot from the clients. Interviews scheduled and canceled. Application systems crash or glitch, and you get weird types of postcards and comments in the mail to your home address, and it's becoming really discouraging, especially for those who were laid off in 2025, and it's been 8 months or more, and they're looking at a year, in 2026. It looks bleak. It really does look bleak. But as far as competition and job availability, it's crazy.
Very unexpectedly, I logged on to work this morning after being off for a week and out of town with my daughter for a dance competition. Totally expecting that meeting to be kind of a catch-up session with my boss. And this lady hops on that I don't recognize. Now, we just hired somebody, and I believe today's her first day. And so I naively, for a moment, thought, this must be the new girl, because she was going to be part of our team and report to the same manager as me. So I thought, maybe this is a formal introduction or, what have you. And lo and behold, the new person that was on the call was actually HR. My boss was a little late to the call, and when she hopped on, she was visibly disturbed. I could tell she was really uncomfortable, and I immediately said, "What's up?" And she rattled off a few things in probably under 30 seconds, and then hopped off the call and let HR take the rest. Now, I've been in leadership in the past. I've been a boss. I know the deal. So I'm not totally surprised by how the call went. What I'm super surprised about is their reasoning for letting me go. So supposedly my performance hasn't been up to par. But interestingly enough, I had an annual review 2 months ago, and despite not getting a very big raise, I did get a very good review. Matter of fact, my boss rated me higher in every single category than I rated myself. That was just 2 months ago. So I'm super confused. I got most of my crying out earlier, but it might happen again on this video. I'm really just here to vent because I'm frustrated and I'm scared. The job market is terrible. I have about $6,000 in monthly expenses, and they only gave me 1 month severance. I have things I can do to fall back. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to really, besides vent, talk about looking at the brighter side. Today's July 15th, 2024, and I stumbled across digital and affiliate marketing a year ago, almost a year to the day. And I didn't do anything with it for several months. And then when I did start doing things with it, I was really struggling with balancing my day job, my teaching job, and then also trying to get a business started. So maybe this is the doorway that will allow me to really focus on my business I have two businesses actually. The first niche is the wealth niche, which is sharing my story, sharing my journey, and providing people references and links to the products that I purchased and used to develop my business. The other is my actual business, which is related to dance. And I've been in the idea phase for a lot longer than I initially intended. And that's just, I think a lot of that has to do with fear. It means so much to me. And the thought of failing is really scary. But now the thought of being homeless is really scary. I'm a single parent with 2 kids, and $6,000 a month in expenses is a lot of money, especially when I only have 1 month severance. And, the job market right now is terrible. When I got this job, it took 2.5 months, that process. So I'm trying to give myself today to feel all of my feelings and all of that stuff, but that time crunch is no joke. So I guess this is yet another restart post for me to get back into focusing on my business, because I am going to need not just another source of income, but a source of income. And I think before I took it for granted that, I have a job and I can take my time, and now I don't have that. So yeah, that's that. If anybody else is in this boat, I sympathize with you, and it sucks. And I hope that everything works out for you, whatever that looks like. But I guess I need to hit the pavement and start really focusing on my business. Of course, I'm going to be looking for another job as well in the meantime, because you can never have too many eggs in the basket. But I got to get started. So this is day 1 of being unemployed and trying to forge forward. So if you have any suggestions, anything that may have helped you, whether it's getting a new job in the market, or if it's, if it was a situation like this, I know there's a few people that I follow that this exact thing happened to them and they were successful as a result, and I hope that's me. But if you have any suggestions or advice to give or any kind words, I am totally open to those. Have a great day.
Yeah, the situation job market is no joke. For a lot of people, that reset time is crucial. Give yourself like the first creator, and thank you to all these creators who have contributed to this chronicle as far as what's happening with job losses in 2026. But as we take a closer look, we can see that the reset, especially when you have major obligations and you have kids, it's very, very scary when you may only have 1 or 2 months severance. So the best thing to do is to reset as quickly as possible. But employers are not really making it easy, because a lot of them are not willing to negotiate, and relocation is not supported. So even if you got a job out of town, it may not be something that's really, really supportive. But thank you for tuning into this video. We're going to unpack a lot more videos and give contribution. We're hoping that this helps someone out there who's looking for a job. Keep hope alive.